In 2026, we the Italians celebrates two anniversaries, one heart. The 250th anniversary of the United States and the 80th anniversary of the Italian Republic. This explainer is part of the Happy Birthday USA, Unsung Italian Heroes project, in which we share how, in every corner of the United States, an Italian has made a positive impact on their local community. This explainer is about the Italian unsung heroes of the East, Delaware, Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Washington, D.C., West Virginia. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so to truly honor these dual milestones, we're not just going to look at some abstract concepts, right? Instead, we're digging into the exact data, the actual historical years, and the very real, tangible achievements of 18 incredible figures from the East Coast. We've broken this whole thing down into 4 thematic pillars. By the end of this, you'll see exactly how these individuals literally laid the groundwork for modern American society.
All right, so pillar number 1, pillars of the community. These are the protectors.
It's honestly incredible to see the parallels between two defenders fighting the exact same battles in the exact same era. Look at Dominic DiPietro. Back in the 1960s, urban planners wanted to drive these massive concrete highways right through the historic heart of Baltimore's Little Italy in Maryland. Crazy, right? Well, DiPietro fiercely mobilized the entire community, he got those highways rerouted and physically saved the neighborhood. Now, over in New Jersey, Monsignor Joseph J Granato was staring down the exact same bulldozers of 1960s urban renewal, this time aimed at Newark's First Ward. His solution? He didn't just protest, he actually built the massive Villa Victoria affordable housing complex. He cemented his community in place and saved it from total erasure. So we're talking 2 different states, 2 identical threats, and 2 absolutely brilliant victories.
And this kind of community building, it actually has measurable data attached to it. Take Father Pasquale Danisco. When he arrived in Roseto, Pennsylvania back in 1897, he organized the town so incredibly well, setting up mutual aid societies and community gardens, that he triggered what medical textbooks actually called the Roseto effect. This sense of social cohesion was so profound, it literally lowered the local death rate from heart disease to less than half of neighboring towns. It's a real medical phenomenon. Jumping forward, we see that same fiercely protective spirit in Dr. Manny Alfano in New Jersey. In 1992, he launched the Italian-American One Voice Coalition, a nationwide movement to protect Italian Americans against harmful stereotypes and defamation.
29. Now behind this number is a story of immense solemnity. It takes us deep into the coal fields of West Virginia.
On December 6, 1907, the Monongah mining disaster claimed the lives of hundreds of men, including at least 171 officially registered Italian miners. One of them was Vittorio Davia. His widow, Caterina DiCarlo Davia, was suddenly left alone with 5 children. To protest the devastating lack of safety and to make absolutely sure this tragedy was never, ever forgotten, Caterina engaged in this unbelievable act of resilience. Every single day, for exactly 29 years, she walked 3 miles to the destroyed mine, filled a heavy sack with coal, carried it back on her shoulders, and emptied it in her yard. Over time, she built a massive, highly visible hill of coal. It was a permanent, undeniable monument to the lost. Her silent strength indelibly shaped the historical memory of West Virginia.
Moving on to pillar 2, the visionary builders. We're talking foundations and mines.
3,000. The crucial point here is scale. Giuseppe Mario Bellanca didn't just build a few prototypes, After moving his operations to Delaware in 1927, his factory produced over 3,000 aircraft. He single-handedly turned Delaware into an absolute aviation powerhouse. He was designing planes that were known for unprecedented fuel economy. In fact, one of his planes, the Miss Vital, actually made the first nonstop flight across the Pacific Ocean in 1931. How cool is that?
And we really see this massive physical impact everywhere we look. Down in West Virginia, DiPietro brought his incredible Italian masonry skills to the state. He paved countless red brick roads in the 1920s and physically built his own majestic stone fortress, which became known as Pietro's Castle. Now compare that tangible brick-and-mortar legacy to Luigi Persico over in Washington, D.C. Between 1825 and 1828, Persico carved the Genius of America pediment right onto the U.S. Capitol. He literally shaped the early civic ideals of the nation into marble. He took abstract concepts like justice and hope and translated them into the everyday public experience of American democracy.
1779. But hey, building isn't just about stone and steel, right? It's about the mind. In 1779, Carlo Bellini completely revolutionized American higher education. He was appointed as the very first professor of modern languages at Virginia's College of William and Mary. By introducing Italian and French into a curriculum that was previously completely dominated by Latin and Greek, he laid the intellectual groundwork for a brand new, globally minded republic.
Which brings us to Pillar 3, Champions of Culture, Arts and Pride.
Here we're seeing a true cultural explosion across the East. In 1918, Rosa Poncell made her Metropolitan Opera debut. She would later settle down in Maryland, building the magnificent Villa Pace, and she actually mentored a whole new generation of Baltimore's civic opera stars. Then, in 1921, the legendary Mario Lanza was born in South Philadelphia. He would go on to introduce millions globally to Italian opera, totally cementing Pennsylvania's pride on the world stage. And down in Virginia, in 1928, impresario Charles A. Sama spent $900,000 to open the spectacular 1,392-seat Byrd Theater in Richmond, forever modernizing the state's entertainment landscape.
And this cultural impact, it brilliantly illustrates how culture also extends to the boxing ring and the wrestling mat. Take a look at this incredible coincidence. In the exact same year, 1963, two working-class Pennsylvania icons captured world championships. Bruno Sammartino, an immigrant from Abruzzo, became the world heavyweight wrestling champion. He became a massive symbol of resilience for Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, South Philadelphia's Joey Jardello won the world middleweight boxing championship. Jardello's legacy was so profound that they actually erected a 7-foot bronze statue of him in his old neighborhood back in 2011. Both of these men gave their communities a really powerful aspirational voice.
Speaking of giving a voice, author Pietro di Donato did exactly that for the laborers of New Jersey. In works like 3 Circles of Light, he beautifully captured the authentic, dignified, and often really difficult lives of 1930s Hoboken immigrant families. By documenting their sacrifices so honestly, he acted as a crucial cultural preservationist, making sure their truth wasn't just lost to cheap stereotypes.
And finally, Pillar 4, Defenders of Justice, the Trailblazers in Law.
Here we're looking at 3 absolute trailblazers. Over in Pennsylvania, Irma DeCenzo was appointed in 1955 as the very first woman on the Pittsburgh City Council. She totally shattered a 200-year glass ceiling and fiercely championed the city's parks and recreation. Down in Washington, D.C., Judge John Sirica, who is affectionately known as Maximum John, was appointed to the federal bench in 1957. His strict adherence to the rule of law famously unraveled the whole Watergate scandal. And in Delaware, Judge Vincent A. Bifferato Sr. was appointed to the Superior Court at the remarkable age of just 30. He dedicated 32 years of incredibly fair, compassionate service to mentoring the next generation of lawyers.
So as we wrap up this explainer, we really have to ask ourselves a question. Look at the sheer weight of these 18 lives, from halting massive highways and triggering actual medical miracles to laying bricks and breaking 200-year-old glass ceilings. These hidden figures undeniably laid the groundwork for modern society in the East. As we look toward the 250th anniversary of the U.S. and the 80th of the Italian Republic, equipped with all this incredible legacy, we have to wonder, who will the unsung heroes of tomorrow be in your community? Thank you so much for watching and keep exploring.